Okay, so box number 5, or boxes. These are the clear boxes. So it's mostly Master System, Genesis, Game Gear, Super Nintendo, and I think the N64 too. So let's take a look, see what's inside. I have no idea. Okay, so if you didn't see our other videos, check them out. I made a playlist. Let's start with, let's see what we have here anyway. Check it out. I got some good stuff in there. Super Nintendo. Oh, Genesis. Alright, see what we got. Oh, Master System. The Sega Master System. That was a great console, wasn't it? Sonic 2. If you ever play Sonic 2 on the Master System and on the Game Gear, for whatever reason, the first boss is a lot easier on the Master System. On the Game Gear, the balls bounce and it's way harder. I have no idea. I have no idea why that is, why it's different. Oh, World Games. Oh, where is that? Look. Video Scene 2. Wow, I bet that is long dead, that place. Transbot. Oh, that was a rough game. Marble Madness, look. Blue Label. Oh, Land of Illusion. I remember getting really far on this. So far. I almost did it, and then I got a game over screen and had to redo. World Grand Prix. Lion King. Wow. I like how they even put the brand on here, look. Just to tell you it's a Virgin game. The Lucky Dime Caper starring Donald Duck. Desert Speed Trap. Oh, Impossible. That was a great game. I played that on the Commodore 64. It's just so thoughtful, and it's such a big game as well. Ghouls and Ghosts. Yeah. Wow, so many memories with this game. I finally finished it actually on the Nintendo and on every console, in fact. I definitely think the Super Nintendo one is way harder just because of the boss rush at the end. Other than that, yeah, it's really fun game. What we got in here then? Oh, we got the Game Gear games, Chess Master. I remember some of these chess games, you make a move, and it takes so long. Like, if you make a knight move, the pawn moves out the way super slowly, and then the knight comes out, and you're playing... It seems like you're playing chess forever. Oh, there's a 4-in-1 game, like one of those kind of soccer, tennis type things. Global Gladiators. This is the McDonald's game. You collect the little McDonald's coins. It's actually kind of fun, really. I thought it was going to be really bad when it came out, but it's actually pretty fun. You shoot this goo at people. You have these kind of packs on your back, and you shoot this green sputum at enemies. But I actually thought it was a really cool game. Dragon, the Bruce Lee game. G-Lock Air Battle, one of those games everyone had but they didn't want. It's probably why I have two, in fact. Columns. Oh, look at that. Computer games. £6. Wow. Another 4-in-1. Oh, Desert Speed Trap again. Yeah, that on the Master System. Prince of Persia, wow. Now that's a hard game, like on a first try. You have to play it a few times to learn the traps, and there's so many traps. World Class Leaderboard. Oh, what's this doing here? Look. Oh, look, Banjo-Kazooie on the Game Boy Advance. Wow. I didn't really play much of that. That's probably why I don't have many games. Lemmings is a classic game. Anyone that had Lemmings had that bit of paper with all the passwords in so you could skip to the next level. I don't think I ever finished any of it. I should probably do that again at one point. Echo the Dolphin. Yeah. Columns. It's another action replay for the PlayStation. We talked about it in the other video where you can play the copied games. It also gives you your expansion port back, which is pretty cool. Oh, this looks like my PSP. I didn't really play this too much either. I got, oh my god, look at that. Oh, look at the paint over the years. That's a pretty cool effect, actually. Yeah, there's the PSP. I didn't really play it too much. I didn't really get into the official games. I kind of just downloaded everything for free. Um, it was a pretty cool game, but I think by the time I got it a bit late, and there were other things I could watch movies on, and I don't know, just I was probably at university, so it was way harder to concentrate on games as much. This is cool. So this goes in your Game Gear there, and it lets you play Master System games. And that was a revolutionary game changer, that was, because it meant I could play all my Master System games on my Game Gear. So I could take them on road trips and go out with them. It was, oh, that was great. And I think this one is so I could play Master System games on the Genesis. So you can play Master System games everywhere with these two. Pretty cool. These must be all the converters here. Look at that. Universal adapter. So that's Super Nintendo. And I think it lets you play Nintendo. I don't remember. It could be Genesis. No, that wouldn't work, would it? I don't know. I'd have to look it up. I can't remember. This one was super cool though. So you could play your Game Boy games on the Super Nintendo. It's a little bit dirty, but that was amazing. Yeah, I remember a lot of memories with that. I don't know. It just meant you can kind of share them better with friends. Otherwise, it's nice playing the, kind of Game Boy and things. Oh, there's the original Game Boy. Look, I've got Tetris in there. Wow, look how yellow it is. Maybe I should retrobrite this. Wow. Oh, if you want to learn how to retrobrite things, get these yellow things back to normal, I'll link a video in the description below. I did a full video on the science of it, how you can do it in hydrogen peroxide, just standard 3% stuff using the natural sunlight. So that's definitely a video you want to watch if that's what you're into. No expensive setup required. That is a GameCube memory card. What else? Oh, N64 rumble packs. Do you remember rumble packs? When you crash your snowboard, for example, they would rumble your controller. Oh yeah, PlayStation 1. I had them all numbered. I had a little book about what saves I had on which card and things. And some of them were really cool. You could press this button here, and it has about 4 memory cards in one unit, so you could flip between the pages. But yeah, I had a lot of saves, you can see there. Yeah, they were super cool. So, Super Nintendo. So, all my American games are in Las Vegas, so sadly I can't show them here. I'm not sure how this one ended up here, though. It's a bit of a mystery. But, yeah, all my American games are in Las Vegas, so that's not part of this whole series we're doing. This is just UK only, so maybe I can do that one day and show you my American collection. But, yeah, for the most part, it's just European. Earthworm Jim, super difficult game. I think I finally did it, but yeah, a lot of hours went into that. It's a really cool game. Virgin made a lot of really good games for a lot of consoles. Dragon's Lair, that's been ported over a few times. I played it on the Commodore first. It was in the arcade as well, actually. Yeah, I really like the graphics on that. It was really cool. And it had the gameplay too. Desert Strike. Oh, Super Mario World. We don't really need to say too much about that. Cannon Fodder. That was a really good game too. Oh, Virgin as well. Yeah, Virgin made some great games. Punch Out. Wow. I need to restore this. I actually bought this in Nottingham. I remember the exact shop from the Broadmarsh I got it from. There's some great records on here. Maybe I can load them up one day, but we fine-tuned this like crazy. We were working out, which combos to throw to get the times down. We spent lots of days on it. Gods, another NTSC cartridge there. I don't know why that's there. Olympic Summer Games. I actually really like this game. Some people don't care about sports games in general, but I love the Olympic Games because they make great multiplayer games. It's a shame to throw them in the same group as FIFA and things. But Flashback, yeah, great game again. I really mainly only played it on the Genesis. I can't really remember the differences between the Super Nintendo and the Genesis. Killer Instinct. Now, you were the boss if you got the Killer Instinct Super Nintendo. And it came with the game as well. It was all themed to do with the Killer Instinct. And the music on here was amazing. I just remember when this came out with the matching Super Nintendo. You were the king at school if you ever got that combo for Christmas. But yeah, I bought this separately. But yeah, you can see how the color is different from the rest, and that's why. Yeah, great multiplayer game. You just beat each other up on the ice. Player manager. It probably has a backup battery inside actually to save you progress. It's hard to do a football season without it. Shadow Run. Wow, that's been through the times, hasn't it? Here we go. Super Mario Kart. Wow. It was just a great multiplayer game, wasn't it? Let's be fair. And Lion King, another Virgin game. Wow. Pretty cool, isn't it? Yeah, so there's some more Super Nintendo. It's not the only ones I have. It's just they're kind of cluttered everywhere. There's no organization here. So Sonic Spinball. A lot of people didn't like Sonic Spinball because it played nothing like any of the other Sonics. I actually really liked it. It was just the whole concept of mixing in a platformer with pinball. It was great. It was really hard, like, to finish, without cheating or anything. But I don't know, I like the concept how you could escape the pinball thing and go on a little mini adventure. Pit Fighter, yeah, that was kind of cool actually. I like this game. It wasn't really my kind of genre I normally play, but I thought it was pretty cool. Barkley, shut up and jam. Be honest, I never played it. I don't even know how I got it, but it must have been a cheap thing from a car boot. Same with that one as well. Sonic Spinball. Wait, hang on a sec. Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. It's the different style. Look. Wow, look at that. That's what American. No, is that the American design? I don't know. Anyway, Green Dog. Wow, I finally finished this more recently, actually. The last level on the skateboard was super difficult. You have to get a little bit lucky because you can't react in time to do those skateboarding levels. But this game was really good. It's just an amazing one-player game. There's a few levels that send you right back to the start, which is super annoying, but... Alex Kidd, I never played it on the Genesis, maybe once or twice, but mainly on the Master System. But I think it's just a ported version with enhanced graphics. But yeah, it seems a bit of a rip-off when you lose on the rock, paper, scissors. Decap Attack was super fun. I don't know, when you were a kid, the whole concept of losing your head is... playing a headless character is funny. Quackshot was actually really good when... Disney made good games. You Donald Duck with a plunger. You can put the plungers on the wall and climb up them. And it was just a really good game. Cool Spot, again, another Virgin game, really good. Don't know what to say. It was just a great one-player adventure game. That's one of those games that everyone seemed to have, but never really play much over here anyway. We never really, well, I didn't anyway. I tried to play John Madden Football. I had no idea what the rules were. I was like, why does this game keep stopping? PGA Tour Golf 2. I played it a couple of times. I had a neighbor kid that was really into golf. I didn't really care too much, but yeah, it's more like a boring version of Worms. Super Hang-On. It was part of the Mega Games series where you buy Mega Games 2, I think it was. It was one of the games on there. It's just a motorcycle game. And speaking of Mega Games, there it is. Super Hang-On. So it's part of Mega Games 1. You get Columns, World Cup Italian 90, and Super Hang-On 3 in 1. Just because all three of them aren't too great, Street Fighter 2 Special Championship Edition. Wow. It's the edition everyone had, but it makes you feel so much special for having a special championship edition. Yeah, good game. What can I say? Psycho. Oh, this is where they bundled Psycho Pinball with Micro Machines. That was just great, because Micro Machines stands out as a game that can exist on one cartridge, but then you get the pinball as well, and the pinball was really good too. It was like pinball on crack, Yeah, just great cartridge. I think that one came a little later. Brian Lara Cricket, honestly never played. This game that's been ported to pretty much every console imaginable. California Games. I first played it on the Commodore, but yeah, Genesis edition. I actually really like it. It's really, really fun. They have an event called Hot Dog, right? Or something like that. Asterix, yeah, I love the Asterix games. I read all the comic books as a kid. I still have some of them, in fact. There's the Druid. Is Get a Fix, right? Obelix and Asterix. They have a theme park. I keep driving by it every time I go to Paris, and I need to stop and go in, but yeah, really good games. Some of them are really hard, but I actually really enjoy them. Mortal Kombat 2 there. Not really much to say about that. Good game. Oh, this is the Mega Game 6. This is where you get 6 games. So not only do you get some of Mega Games 1 on here, you kind of get a bit of Mega Games 2 as well. So it's like 1 plus 2. That equals 6 apparently. Sonic and Knuckles, this was a great invention. You could just plug it in and play in Sonic and Knuckles, but then in the top you can put in like Sonic 3 and all different Sonic games and see what happened. And you always think, oh, does it work with Sonic Spinball? Well, what happens if I put Cool Spot in the top? It was a really cool invention, very clever. I don't remember many games that did this at all, but yeah, I remember at the time that was so cool. And it just added so much flavor to all your games as well. And it's so cool. Apparently I have 2 of them. And, oh, what's this one? Oh, it's Mega Game 6 again. So what's the difference here? Oh, look at that. Sega Soccer. Oh, it is slightly different. So this one's called M6. This one's called Mega Game 6. You know, I never really noticed that. That's so funny. So this is the Streets of Rage version. That's the Golden Axe version. Yes, not too much difference in there. So there's a ported version of Global Gladiators. Yeah, pretty much the same one on the Game Gear. I think the graphics is a bit better. I don't really remember much else. Sonic 1. Now this game is pretty funny. I actually found it in a field on the way to school. I took it home, cleaned it up, and it actually worked. So I ended up keeping it. It was so weird finding Sonic 1 in a field of long grass. Just really random. So this is part of the James Bond RoboCod series, Operation Starfish. It is actually one of the best games on the Genesis. It came out a bit later, but this game I had to leave my console on for about 4 days while I finally worked through it because there was no save feature, at least not that I remember. Maybe there was a password, but I don't know, this game was so long and there was so much to do. It was amazing. It's definitely one of my favorite games. If you haven't played it, I recommend trying it. It's so good. Urban Strike, the sequel to Jungle Strike, so you should buy it if you've played Jungle Strike. And a Japanese Ghostbusters. I have no idea how I ended up with this or why it's here, but here it is. If you've never seen a Japanese Ghostbusters or a Japanese Genesis cart, no, there is one. I have no idea why I have it. Okay, the last box. So in the top, oh, okay. So these were put in a bit later. These are like multi-carts. They're pretty cool, actually. It's like a Super Nintendo 901. There's an SD card in there. You can kind of fill it up. One of those kind of things. I have 3, in fact. And the same thing for the Genesis as well. So it has an SD card. You can load it up. But that is not why we're here. Oh, yeah. So when you bought an N64, you either got the GoldenEye release or you got the Mario 64 release. Mario 64 is probably in there. And these are kind of heavier than I remember. And you'd have all the people who like Guns and Fighting doing GoldenEye, and you had all the people who like Adventure and things doing Mario 64. It was a pretty weird split, but this was a great multiplayer game. It wasn't totally my thing, it was more my brother's thing, in fact, but I remember playing it on a 14-inch TV, a 4-player mode, which meant you had 7 inches for your whole screen, and everyone was next to the TV squinting, trying to work out where they were on the map. 1080 snowboarding, pretty cool game. It felt a bit like Cool Borders on the PlayStation 1. It's pretty good. Quake 2, again, not really my kind of thing, but it's just like a classic Quake game on the N64. Oh, Michael Owen. Do you remember Michael Owen? He used to play for Liverpool. Yeah, not really my thing. I don't know why I have it. Snowboard Kids. That was a great game. Snowboard Kids. It was kind of like Cool Borders, but it was made fun, and you can use these different characters and do tricks, and I guess it was more kid friendly. I don't know, less serious, in fact. Jet Force Gemini. There's one of those games a lot of people had and played. Again, not really my thing, and I have no idea why I ended up getting it, but I don't know. Maybe I felt left out. Our International Superstars. That was probably 50p or something. Oh wow! Look at this. You know, it's the fighting people that like the fighting genres really don't look after their games, and the people who kind of, don't like fighting, racing, and shooting kind of look after their games a bit better. It's definitely a theme I've noticed. Extreme G. Well, what to say about that? So this is my original Mario 64 game that I got with the console. You can see how yellow it is because I played it so much. It would sit in the N64 and the sun would be oxidizing it. That's why it's like yellowed there. But we can restore that later. But yeah, great game. What can I say? Played it a lot. F1 64 pole position. I really find it funny that they tried to work in 64 into pretty much every game they released, just to say, oh, it's 64-bit. It's a great console. Another GoldenEye. Wow, how'd I end up with that? Zelda Ocarina of Time. I I played so much Zelda on the Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and Game Boy, that when this finally came out, I didn't like it. It was too 3D. Now, it was a bit of a crossover because a lot of people, this was their first Zelda game, and they thought it was amazing, the best game ever. But coming from 2D Zelda, I just couldn't adjust. I got to one of the dungeons, I got that Epona, I think it was, and then I thought, no, just too 3D and awkward and annoying. But I don't know, maybe I'll go back to it one day because I just couldn't get into 3D games. International Superstar Soccer 98, probably super cheap. And this thing is probably kind of rare now. I actually ordered this from a magazine. It's an action replay for the N64. So this goes in your N64 at the bottom, your N64 game goes in the top, and you have a little function button on the front. The equalizer, look, cheat code cartridge. Yeah, I got it out of an N64 magazine. I never saw them in shops. I never really saw them online. I haven't looked in the last 15 years, so I have no idea about now. But yeah, I paid £20 for it. I think I used it on one game just for fun, then shoved it in the collection. But I'd like to know if anyone else had one of these. I never knew that anyone that owned one, but yeah, that's where that came from. So yeah, they're the clear boxes anyway. So there it is. What do you think? What's your favorite? What do you remember? And what does that play? I could look it up, but I thought it'd be more fun to ask. Alright, so yeah, box 5 I think we're at now. Well, this is a collective box 5. So here's everything from box 5. It's not a bad little haul, is it? We got the N64 games and all the Genesis. There's all the memory cards. I remember it's so frustrating filling up a memory card and having to go to town and getting a new one. Super Nintendo, the PSP. I'm wondering what's on the PSP. And yeah, there's all the Master System up there. And the various cartridges. What's your favorite from the lot? What memories do you have? Comment below, let me know. Alright, take care. I'll see you in the next box.